opener to open this can. You just, this can opener is amazing. You're gonna use the little pincher in to grab the can and pull that off like that. Okay, so we have our rotel. I had showed you that I cut up my onions earlier. See how dry they are? It's amazing. Gets them nice and fine without being juicy. So we have that in there. I'm gonna press us some garlic. So we have onion, it's a little red onion, some garlic. You do not have to peel it. The peeling just comes right out. Love that about the garlic press. So there is that. Okay, so we have salt, pepper, onion, garlic, rotel, and then I like to use fresh cilantro, but I happen to be out, so I'm just gonna use a little dried. And just a little tip for you, the top of most jars of seasoning is a tablespoon. Just a little tip. Okay, so I'm gonna make this salsa. And there we go. Salsa for our nachos. Okay, so we're gonna grate our cheese now. If you buy your cheese bagged, I want you to look at the ingredient list. There's an ingredient on there called cellulose. And then you can Google cellulose, and cellulose is basically wood fiber pulp, which the definition of wood fiber pulp, I mean that's sawdust, right? So nachos, I'm gonna use some regular cheese. This is just some cheddar. This is our microplane grater. Love this. See, it is adjustable, so you can grate it out like this if you wanted to, right over your food. See the beautiful cheese, or you can adjust it like this and use it like this, and it works really, really well. Of course, there is a food holder that you can put on here, and it comes with the grater, and I'll show you that in just a second, so that you can protect your fingers, so we don't put a little bit of fingers or fingernails with our cheese. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a little break from this right here. Our microwave just binged. I have cooked our ground meat for the nachos in the microwave. I'm gonna drain that here. And I seasoned that with a lot of cumin and some different seasonings that we have. The Tex-Mex rub, chipotle rub, some cumin. This is our mix and chop. I'm gonna break up this ground meat so you can see that there, that it's browned in the microwave. And so I'm just gonna use up the mix and chop here to break it up. So you can see how easy that was to cook 5 minutes. I first defrosted it, and I used the microwave to defrost it as well. So that took 5 minutes to cook in the micro cooker. Super, super easy to do, and you can break it up as fine as you want using your mix and chop. See how that works? Love the mix and chop. This is just like an example of something that we would do on a super fast meal. I mean, it literally takes no time. You can do after you are I'm gonna use this in this instance for these nachos, but you could take and add spaghetti sauce to this, boil your pasta, and you know, do anything that you would want to do with that. So you could make essentially spaghetti immediately, nachos immediately, tacos, super easy meals that you can do with ground meat in a super hurry using the micro cooker holder. And I'm just finishing up the rest of this cheese here so you can see how that ends up with that last piece, the last bit of it, so that you don't add your fingernails or your fingers to the nachos. So we're gonna now take, this is the Rock Crop Grill Stone. Because the beans just taste better when they're seasoned. So I'm gonna add a little bit of Tony's, which has salt and red pepper. So I'm gonna add a little bit of seasoning. And I'm gonna add some of our chipotle rub as well. And then I'm just gonna add these beans. They were drained and rinsed. And you know what, if I had a can of corn, I would add that, drain and rinse, add the corn as well. I don't happen to have any in the house, so that's okay. You know, you just kind of make do with what you have. But the little extra steps like seasoning the beans adding a little seasoning to the beans and things like that actually makes your nachos end up tasting better. Okay, so here's the nachos piled on, and I'm gonna add the cheese now and stick this in the oven. So we've got our fresh cheese, and I'm gonna get this ready to go. So this is the close and cut. This happens to be one of the free gifts this month, which is awesome. So I just put a few little tomatoes on here, and I'm gonna close that down like this, and then I'm gonna pass this knife through here. This is one of our chef's knives. Love this. So there we have our tomatoes, and they are cut in half all at one time. And actually, if I wanna cut them again, just to kind of break them up even smaller, I can do that. For all the tomato lovers, I am not one of them. And then here's our nachos over here. They've come out of the oven now. So I'm gonna take, I've snipped a little bit of cilantro on the top, and I'm just gonna put some of these tomatoes on part of these nachos for my family that loves tomatoes. And then we have a dinner very quickly. I hope you enjoyed.